Listen, the calm pattern that we've seen settle across the central U.S., it has been welcome, but signs are pointing to it not lasting for much longer. We are tracking a multi-day severe weather threat that is set to begin today in parts of the upper Midwest, the Dakotas, and then we'll stretch that for millions into big cities like Chicago and Milwaukee come tomorrow. Closing out the work week with the boundary that kind of lays back out across the Ohio, Tennessee valleys into the Mid-South with this multi-day risk of possible severe weather. Ozarks up through the Ohio Valley. What could we see on the board? A couple tornadoes, not out of the question. I think the overall footprint, though, definitely lending to some damaging wind, maybe some big hail. But nonetheless, these are a lot of the same areas that have been in the risk just time after time, really since the middle of March. April was a very tough month for spots like Louisville, anywhere along the Ohio River, the Mid-South. The energy that we're looking at right now is definitely a big switch up to that weather pattern, right? For about the last 10 days, high pressure has been dominating across the northern plains. We had two breaks of extreme heat. Now we're starting to see that break down, a little bit of a trough, not just a little bit, a trough that is swinging through the Intermountain West, and that is kind of ejecting this energy into the northern plains.
Yeah, it's coming in with some tenacity. I mean, even noticing it's been dumping some snow further off to the west into the northern part of the Rockies. But when it comes to how it will impact, temperature, storm development, we'll see all of that slide off to the east. So some storms later in the day, but it is going to be hot until that front reaches areas of North Dakota in through the Dakotas and then even into Minnesota.
I think that's what's impressive to me about today's feature is you start the morning across Minnesota and it is bright and sunny. I mean, it is dry, it is clear. It's amazing to see how that high pressure bubble is still kind of holding on for one more day. But there's that storm risk, and you can almost already see just the curvature of that just lends itself to probably we're tracking some type of mesovortice, some type of complex that will come together with a bowing and some damaging winds. So just preparing for that this afternoon because we do have the temperature profile to support that severe threat.
Yeah, I mean, this is 6, 7 o'clock with the Fox model, and you see some of that start to fill in from Bismarck all the way down in towards that I-80 corridor towards Omaha. You can see now a little bit more clear defining of that area of low pressure, but eventually working into Minnesota. Again, some of these could be strong, if not severe. We'll see if it maintains that intensity into the overnight, but we also know areas do need it. I mean, Minnesota's been dealing with some wildfires. They need some of the rain, and I don't know, are we ready for relief and heat? I think so. And then continuing into tomorrow.
Now, I'll take the relief and heat, and we'll talk about this coming up, but I don't know how many of us want to fall back down to the 30s and 40s at this point. But the level 3 risk, now there was a pretty good footprint of this. We were watching this over the weekend, knowing that, hey, this low pressure was going to eject out of the Intermountain West, and the Great Lakes were going to be in the bullseye by the end of this week. So level 3 threat, not surprised to see that upgrade. We see the orientation of that really kind of following along the boundary and this low that's not taking a deep sweep through the plains. It is really hanging up across the northern tier, but we've had all of this energy to fuel the atmosphere. Look at our dew points. I mean, well through the 60s. Temperatures are climbing. I mean, what is that, 90s in Chicago for tomorrow afternoon? So that's impressive. And the supercell potential, definitely some twist in the atmosphere. If I were to bet, probably embedded supercells as opposed to those discrete nature, but you can never rule that out.
Yeah, I think you know, when you look at the setup in terms of the buoyancy, the temperatures, the moisture, it is very summer-like. But this cold front does have quite a bit of bite to it. And so we have this very, I don't know, intense setup when it comes to severe weather. I mean, even I was looking at the SPC talking about longer-lived supercells in through portions of Wisconsin, into Illinois, into Indiana. So noting that you could have all hazards, including tornadoes as well.
And then come Friday, we just lay that boundary right across the Ohio Valley and we reignite the atmosphere. It'll be a question of what's left over from Thursday night into Friday morning. How far north does that boundary push that could maybe open up that warm sector again? But we'll continue to break down Friday's risk in just a bit.